Librarian. I've seen this game so many times. It's literally as you imagine it. You pick up books and you put them in the correct order, and that's the entire game. And I feel like this has like been scratching the itch of like boredom I've had. So we're gonna try our best to work as a team and get through this. I've already seen videos of people playing it, so I know a few things like there are a bunch of keys like this, for example. And essentially, you have to get the my bad. Once you collect them, you can go to certain chests here, and then you can literally get abilities. Like it's insane how many people just don't know this. I have friends that have played this entire game up until the end and haven't realized that they can get like abilities, and they've just been raw dogging it. Like genuinely, that's insane to me. This one, my bad. There should be another key in here. This one gives us book capacity, so we can carry more books. So I'll do this first. So you probably won't even see this part, but I'll do this first. So capacity by 3, and then there's another one that should be roughly around here. There we go. I don't know where the other one is, but we don't need the other one. I think it's just more book capacity, literally. So open this. So this one should give us, I think, 15, because that's what I was 15. Yeah, 15. So now this strat for this. So a lot of people. So these are the first books we get. Actually, I completely forgot about this. So for now, so literally this is how you're supposed to do it. So for example, we have. So if we press R, we open the list. So we have volume 8. So 8 should go here. 4 should go here. 7 should go here. 1, 3, 9, 2, 5, 10. Oh, did I miss one? I thought I took all of them. Oh no, I dropped. Oh yeah, I dropped one. My bad. Place the books in hand. The bookshelves according to the category. Locations can be found at each stairs. And then we're done there. Yeah. Find the remaining volumes. So essentially, once we do this, we get abilities. We get like buffs that help us throughout the game. Okay, so the best strategy for this is to find. So, for example, a lot of these books may look similar at first glance. However, there's some books that just like that they stand out like there's no tomorrow. So what we're gonna do is we're going to pick up all the books that we know look similar, and then we're going to collect them all and put them back. So for you guys, it's just probably just be clips. I'm just gonna pick it up. Okay, these two look similar. If I find similar books, I'll just drop them somewhere. I'll drop them like in a corner. So just it's a very peaceful game if you think about it. Unless, well, I say peaceful now, but like you'll be like sat there looking for like the last book, and you'll be like, "What the hell is this book? Can't find it." And then getting mad, getting like angry, and getting obsessed. It's not a good shtick, but it's okay. It really just depends on the person. Like some people, this is the type of game some people love, and some people, and then some people like hate the entire like core. But I'm the type to enjoy these type of games. Well, not enjoy as such, but I definitely, I can't say I hate it. Magic life hack right here. Chicken volume right there. It's the hardest part is finding the first volume. I'll tell you that much. From there on, it's essentially just pick up the books that look similar. These there. Okay. We're starting to build up a nice repertoire of like patterns. That's part. And the worst part is, I think the worst part is that there's books on the shelves. That gets me so mad. Because I could be looking for a book for the entire time, and the whole time I just sat there on the top of the shelf doing nothing but collecting dust. But I guess if we can't find the book on the floor, that means we know for sure that, well, not for sure, but there's a high possibility that it's probably on the shelves. So we'll come back to that on its own and put that there. So if I remember correctly, I put one in the corner here. Okay. I don't know how many volumes there are, but I know that they exist. Is that another one? That is another one. Beautiful. I don't know how long this game is gonna take, but knowing me, it shouldn't be too long. Once I like lock it on something, it becomes a lot easier. Those two are matching. That might be one. I'm not too sure. Like the problem is some of these books look way too similar for them not to be together, and then you find out that they're not together, and that's just heartbreaking. So this might be a pair by itself. 1, 2. So we need volume 10, I think. We need volume. Oh my bad. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 7. We need 7. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 and 7. Okay, so we'll put these back down. Actually. So we'll look for. Oh, we have 4, and now we just need 7. Okay. Ooh, okay, that is another one. That is another one. That is another one. That is another one. We're one away. We're one away. And I think it's in this pile. Okay, so now that's done. Okay, I had to go take a quick pee break. And I feel so much more energized. Now that we're back, we just continue. We have to just continue locking it, honestly, because like I said, that's another book. The faster we find the first books, everything just kind of lines up into place. I've said that so many times now, but that's the only thing mentally keeping me going right now because there's no music in the background, or at least the music that they're playing isn't really my shtick, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're so close. We almost have 2 full pairs. Once we get at least 1 extra pair, the next ability should buff us like crazy. That's another book we have. Oh yes, we found a set. We found our first set. Okay, that's beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so the hardest part is done. Okay, now we just need to we just need to find where this goes. So useless magic from around the world would come under so a combat of useless magic. Useless magic. Where would useless magic go? So it travels around the world because it's from around the world. So 2Q. So all the way in the back. Economics, no. Warrior, archery, daily magic, 2C. 2A, 2C, maybe? Not what I meant to do. E to action. Oh. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna get this one because we have 9 books already. We have 9 books found. So we should be able to just... So for example, if we just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we use 3. Where is this book? Do we have to physically be looking at it to see it? Oh, there it is. We found it. I knew it. I knew it was gonna be stuck behind some BS. Like, oh no, you won't be able to find it because it's under all these other books. Oh, and there it is. There's our next book. Okay. Bingo, bango. They call me Mr. Man with a plan. They might call me Mango. We're gonna solve all these book issues and like no problemo. 10, 9, 2, 3. This is beautiful. We're gonna get assemble. So based on the top, so again, it's one of those abilities where now if we go and grab our, so which one had 9? Another book of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, right? So when we press 5, so we collected. So how many books do we collect at a time? Pick up amount 1 book. So we get 1 book. So and then we found, oh, see how beautiful. Oh my days. They're right here. So this one's here, and this one is somewhere here. If that has taught you one thing in life is never give up. There we go. So we have that. Life hack magic. I don't know where that would go. Is there a whole lot? I'm pretty sure there's like a literal subgenre for life hack magic. 5, 1. Ooh. Nope. 8, 9, 9, 2, 10, 7. Wrong way around. That's a level up. Okay, so now we're going to upgrade. We're gonna upgrade assemble, so we get 2 books now instead of 1. 10. 1, 7, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 3, 8. Ah, beautiful. And then it's done. 2, 1. Now we're going to upgrade our insight ability. Where goes 8, 9, 5. That was done. 4, 1, 6, 5. Ooh, that's not it. 7, 4, 2, 5. Guys, I'm lost in the way you move. Cause she got the boyfriend. What can we even read the book? So that's my question. Like, what's the point of us putting all these books away if we can't read them? That's like creating a Minecraft SMP and then not touching kids. Like what? Hashtag dream? Question mark? Oh, those are books. 7. Oh, that is 7, 9, 4, 6. So small. It'd be silly not to try and. The grand compound of curses, hexes, and 100 D spells. Do you reckon that somewhere in the big books there's like a how to unstick your dick in like a Pringles can? Not saying that I myself have done that before, but if you ever needed like a quick solution as to, because if you really think about it, no, am I supposed to stop talking? Gotcha. But no, but like I want to keep like if this is a library book, like not just a library book, but if this word is supposed to be like a book for like all types of what you call it, all types of books, and you can find anything you need here. Realistically, you could find one of those books. What happens if somebody like a very very bad man or woman that gets like like a reverse aging spell and then goes back to being a child, and then goes to kindergarten or school and then lives out their fantasies? I feel like that's a like are there rules against like magic pedophilia books? Is there like a bunch of like is there like a organization of like evil bookmans that like hoard all the evil books? And then my second question to that follow-up question would be then why create those type of books in the first place? I mean, I guess if magic's a construct, it doesn't really matter what exists. If it exists, there's magic. If it exists, then it's probably because of magic. And if magic exists, it will exist. Like just because we haven't discovered it doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't exist. So the spells were there in the first place. Because at the end of the day, spells are just like an alignment of atoms. Well, in this world, of course, or in the world of spellings, spells are just an alignment of magic. How the hell? What? I haven't. I've been putting these books together, and I haven't even once asked how like magic actually works. I feel like I'm a slave right now. Way in the wild, but a slave by choice. Though. I wouldn't mind being a slave for a bookshop, as long as I got paid at least, or at least got to learn the magic I was like keeping. Introducing magical art. Okay. So again, another question pops up to me like, if we have spells to make art, is that to make art magically, or is that to magically make art? Two very different answers. Because then, if we have spells that can just make art, why do we even need to make art ourselves? Okay. Like, what's the point of us making art if we can get what does magic base itself off of? Like, if I make a spell that makes me rich, where does it get the money? Does it steal the money? Does it then create the exact type of money that we have? And if it does just create money that we have, like, does that mean magic has like active thought? Because like to create the money that we have, you have to understand the currency, the value of things, the exact details. Then you have to also make sure that the barcode of the cash you're using is like identical and it's unique to its own one. So like, is there like a limit to how much magic can be like, how at what speed magic can be factored into? Like, is it gonna just be to a point where it's like, that's just too complicated, you know? I don't know. I feel like these should have been raised up at like Lost Magicon. 10, 3, 4, 7, 8. Magical court. So I'm assuming that comes into play. Like, oh, you can't use magic to like turn your animal dog into a boy or a girl and then have sexual relations with them, and that would fall under the magical court. Because if they didn't do that, well, then people would do it. But then again, just because we have laws in the real world doesn't mean people follow them. So somewhere out there, somebody's using magic to turn their dog periodically into a human counterpart for intercourse benefits. Imagine like it's like someone turns their pet into a human, not because they want to have intercourse, just because they want a friend. That'd be sad. That'd be very sad, actually. We don't really hurt, don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Cause we can spend the night, don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. We can spend the night, don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Oh, that's actually I actually need that book. I don't know what I would do without this magic abilities. Because there are people that have genuinely just raw dog this straight, no magic, no nothing. I'm scared of those people. I'm really scared of those people because the amount of mental fortitude to then sit here and identify the colors one by one and then place them in there, and then going to read where they're supposed to go, trying to figure out where they go, and then having to actually put them there. Oh my, you have to have a different level of like autism. And I don't have that level of autism. I don't even have autism in the first place. When I was a kid, yeah, technically I'm still a kid. Um, and when I was a little kid, I really wanted to have autism. Not because like I wanted like anything cool, but growing up, my parents would always say like, oh, when they're talking about autistic kids or people in general, just like adults, we talk about, oh my god, that's his artistic power, you know. And at the time, I thought, oh my god, that probably means he's like, you know, he's like, oh, I can fly or something. It never dawned to my head. They were just talking about like he's like, you know, inability to like not his ability to just innately focus on one task at hand. I thought they had genuine like power. So like whenever like I'd go to sleep or would pray as like I'd pray as a kid, I'd pray to God like because I'm Christian. I'd pray to God like, oh my God, please make me autistic. To this day I don't know why. I was a weird kid, man. Fucking. I don't know how my parents kept up with me. I was only weird. I was a very naughty kid as well. Now that I think about it, like I used to get beat, but like you know, not okay. I was gonna say not that badly, but now that I'm thinking, I had some crazy beatings. There was one time. So one time, I don't know what I did. I think I talked back to my mom or something. I must have done something bad because mom would never be this angry normally. She anyway, she ended up putting me into her room, her bedroom, because that's where my beating place was. And then instead of just like me taking it like a normal person and getting it over with, I was like, today I just don't feel like getting beaten today. So being a smart kid, I knew that we had a window in the back of my parents' room that would lead to the washing room slash toilet area lounge. I don't know how to explain it exactly. And then so I dodged her trying to grab my hands to like so she grabbed because normally if someone's beating you're not gonna let them beat you up, of course. So she'd try to grab my hand, and then it get to this point where like I'm not trying to let you grab me, so I dodged her. And then I remember I was a fat kid as well, so I don't know how I actually did any of this like aerodynamic battles, but I jumped through the window. It was open, and then I hit the washing machine. Didn't break. I just like hit it on the way down. Then I ran outside, and my mom took the front door, so I took the back door where the gate. And and then we got to the like I was like, okay, I'm fine. I'm by the gate, and I see mama opening the back door. This is not. Is this not? Is this not? Uh, oh. I see my mom out the door, and I'm like, no way she's gonna chase me. And then I shit you not, I see this girl. She starts walking, you know, like a slow walk, but it's not normal walk. Like you can tell she's building up. She's gonna like, at any second she's gonna pounce like a puma and start attacking me. So me being you know a small individual, of course, I started walking away. I'm like, there was no way my mom was gonna chase me, you know, down the fucking street across because we lived in a fairly for my first few years of living. I lived in a fairly white neighborhood. You know, I felt like a really rich posh boy, even though we're like poor. Anyway, that's not the point, right? So I'm walking away. I'm like, she won't run because, like, you know, save grace, you know, have pride. But one thing you don't test your black parents on is pride, and they're willing to just whoop you. Like they would put everything past themselves just to whoop you. Pride, ego, jealousy, you know. So back to the story. One sec. Two. 3. So now she's slow. She's gone from like a fast walk to like a slow jog, and I'm thinking, fuck this, man. And then I start hitting a run of a lifetime. I'm thinking, okay, she's gonna see I'm running. She's gonna leave me. I'm gonna come back when things come down. She's chasing me. My mom in sandals is chasing up to me, and I didn't know at the time. My mom told me now, of course, later growing up. She used to run track back in Africa. So she just caught me. I'm dead ass. She just caught me. She grabbed me by the arm, and she was walking me backwards. I was backwards, and she was like holding my hand, and she was walking forwards. And I could just see people looking at me like, oh, he's finished, he's done, he's getting beat up, and none of them they had no place to try and like defend me because like they could just. My mom was a beast, bro. My mom looks like an angel. But if she really wanted to like bite you into two pieces, she'd murder you on the spot actually. So like you see this like buff black woman and you're like, I'm not gonna try and mess and risk my life saving this black child, not in my white neighborhood. So essentially they just let me go. I went back, I got the beating of a lifetime. Genuinely I remember that beating because the next day I was supposed to go to school. I didn't go to school because I had like marks, red marks on my legs. because my mom just beat the shit out of me. Not because she was mad at me. Matter of fact, she probably would have given me like a lesser intense beating if I just took the normal beating. But making her run in public, because like while yes, they're willing to throw their pride aside, doesn't mean it's not gonna come back to them once they realize, yeah, you made me run. Yeah, safe. Is this shit? No, of course not. But yeah, no, African parents are hell, man. I don't know. I can't imagine ever beating my child or anything of the sort. Then again, like I said earlier, I was a naughty ass child. I used to get up to the most misandrous of misandry. I'm probably gonna tell this story like a bunch more because I always tell my friends the story. Okay. When I was I wanna say 11, maybe 12, sure. I used to so I'd end school and I'd go to my mom. My mom used to work at a cafe shop back in Robertson. We used to live in Robertson. She worked at a cafe shop. Nothing crazy. I'd come there sometimes. She'd give me some free food or send me on errands to buy food. And this one time, we had no bread in the house. So my mom told me, come over. I'll give you bread money. And then you take it home with you on your walk back home. And I was like, okay, that's fair. She gives me the money. I buy bread. Mind you, it's a whole loaf of bread. You know, that's supposed to last us like, I think, the week actually. And then I'm walking, you know, just walking my own pace. I'm almost home. I'm like 5-10 minutes away from home. So I'm thinking, yeah, safe. I see this old man who looked possibly, now that I think about it, on drugs or like, so he was on something, surely. And he had a bag of Viana. So if you don't know what a Viana is, it's like a sausage. It's a South African sausage. It's like a burgos. If you don't know what that is, then I don't know, man. Just imagine it. Just imagine like long, juicy sausages. Pause. And the thing is, he was walking the same way but at a much slower pace. So it got to the point where I caught up to him, and he looks at me. I look at him, of course. He looks at my bread. He looks back at me, and I look at his Vienna, and I look back at him. And then he's like, "Do you want some?" Like in I guess in like an old man, homeless voice. "Do you want some of my sausages, kid?" And you know, looking back, I probably should have said no. I probably should have questioned why he was just offering sausages. I should have questioned a lot of things. But you have to remember, I was a fat kid back then. So, of course, with the moment of, you know, because I was really eyeing that food. The moment I saw him, I was seeing the food, not him. So I said, of course. I took the Viennas. It was like, what, 7, 8, 6, 7. It was 7 or 8. And then I just remember I'd take the bread and I'd take the sausage and put it in the between the bread and then I'd take another bread and I'd close it and I'd squish it like a dildo, for example. Get your mind out of the gutter. I had like a sausage wrapped in 2 slices of bread, you know, and then I ate it. And it tasted genuinely probably one of the best meats I had in my entire life. Pause again. And then I couldn't, after the first one, I couldn't stop. I took two more slices of bread. And then I took another Vienna. And then I ate the next Vienna, and the next Vienna, and the next Vienna, and the next Vienna. So by the time I got back home, as you can imagine, again, I was genuine. I don't have any pictures of me now, but I was genuinely a fat fucking chart. Like this was light work for me. So then after that, I got home, no bread, and I was like, when my mom comes here, I'll think of a story. Mom comes home, and I'm just like, fuck. I actually have to tell her what happened. So I tried to be honest, you know, as a kid, even though, you know, I wasn't the best well behaved, I tried to be honest. So I told my mom the whole story. This old man gave me Viennas, this and that. And of course, my mom, assuming I had common sense of any sort or any like level, she just didn't believe I was telling the truth because she doesn't think her son's gonna just accept random homeless man, you know, sausage meat. So she's like, you're lying to me, and then she beat me, of course. I feel like that was very valid though. Like looking back at it now, if my siblings told me they did that, I wouldn't believe them at all. Like I don't think there's ever a point in my life where I'd ever believe any of my siblings. I know, of course, if they told me, I'd believe it now because it's happened to me. But unless it's happened to you, you find a lot of things hard to believe. You know, I feel like not to get all psychological. One sec. Not to get all philosophical, but especially okay. Here's something I want to talk about for the longest of time. The current so if you didn't see failed one sec or wrong stash, the current TADC the Digital Circus fandom is being attacked basically because the last episode 9 I watched it genuinely. I wish I was recording. I almost cried. Not because it was the best piece of fiction ever, but rather because I enjoyed the story and I understood the characters' like feelings and desires and needs, and it was a simple story. but there's nothing wrong with a simple story. Like I feel people really, if your story is not like, oh, it needs the best ever, fiction detailing, everything needs to link up, everything needs to make sense. No, I don't think it. I really don't think it does. As long as the story is concise and it gets the point through, I don't care if it's a simple story or not. And I understand like the whole like, oh, I want more clarification on this character and that character. Same, I have a lot of questions myself, but you have to understand the people making this aren't some triple A writing company with writers and writers like make all the sense. It was just two brothers, I think, that put the story together, and it got 50 over 100 million people watching collectively on YouTube alone. So that's safe to say like more people watch on other sites illegally or legally. Anyway, back to the point. They are the last song. So the song, the ending song was She Lovely, Isn't She Wonderful? So that's the ending song. And I'm just like every time I see it, I'm like I like the video. I'm like, oh my god, let's see the comments. How maybe they're talking about the show, maybe they're talking about like things that happen in the show. But no, they're talking about some you can't bring up this song because the TDC fandom is going to ruin it. I'm just like, how can you expect people that enjoy the show and then watch the ending, was quite emotional for some people, and then they then become. So the issue is they don't really like, if someone was to watch the finality of a show they really liked and the ending song happened to be a song that also was quite nice, because I think the song is nice. Okay, I think the song is really nice actually, and that song, even when the show ended, I was singing it. I was like, oh my god, this song's fantastic, But the problem is, people are like mad, like, oh my god, this is not your song. It's whoever song, I don't even know the song creators. The song creators, I don't know who his name is. And they're like, oh no, you're ruining the song. I was like, no. If anything, it's helping the song because it was Steve Wonder. Steve Wonder. I didn't know who that was. I didn't know who the song was. I knew the beat because it was a very popular song, I guess. But I didn't know the actual lyrics. I didn't know where it originated from. But thanks to the show, I found out the song. I added it to my Spotify and I enjoyed it. And I feel like that takes a lot. It takes a lot of mental strength to understand that just because something it becomes mainstream doesn't mean it's going to be bad. Like, I really hate the internet for like that. This is the one thing I hate about the internet. That the moment something becomes too mainstream, they refuse to give it any credibility. If it's not niche, if it's not unique, then it's not popular anymore to them because it's not seen as cool. Because everybody and their mother, for some reason, want to be seen as niche and they want to be seen as different because then they think to themselves, okay, this makes me cool. I'm not like everyone else. And I don't know why people think that, there's 8 billion people on this world and counting. You are probably one of the most basic, boring, unoriginal, and and predictable characters in this world. So, think about it and they probably know that. They know them themselves. That's not the issue. They know that they're predictable and they're boring and their lives still the same. So they'll grasp to anything niche to keep that cool status. Okay, I'm cool, and no one's gonna like think I'm not cool because I'm so niche. So when something then becomes not popular now, they're like, no, 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 you're just like everyone else. I'm different. They have this. It's not even about the actual. It's not even about what they're fighting for. It's not about that they actually enjoy the thing they're watching. It's like that they they're involved with like the artists or anything. They just want to be niche. So when the thing becomes no longer niche, then they become having a panic attack because this is their identity is being niche. Their identity is being different. So when what they think is different then becomes popular, then it's like, oh my god, these guys are not cool because when I was popular, when I was listening to mainstream stuff, I wasn't considered cool. So why are these guys cool? And that's just society as a whole, I guess. Like everyone wants to be even if it's not pushed to the maximum. Everyone wants to be even a bit niche. That's why people have like dreams and careers, like streamers. You want, as a streamer, you want to be the number one. You want to be better than everyone else. You want to be different. You want people to come watch you for you. But there's just so many people streaming that of course people are going to fall into certain categories. And your niche is going to be someone else's niche, which is going to be someone else's mainstream. But people just don't want to accept that for some reason. It's weird, And I was having a conversation with one of my friends. So many people think that they were weird kids and that they were annoying kids. I myself, I wouldn't say I was it. Even though I think I had a lot of like very unique instances of growing up and experiences. I don't think I'm one of the weird kids that were forced growing up in like a weird lifestyle. I was a kid that grew up. I'd go home, I'd watch anime, I'd play with my friends, and certain things are all revolved around that. And people think, oh my god, just because I watched this show, I watched that show, you know. Like, for example, I know so many people that just because I watched anime back when I was like, you know, being hated on, I was a weird kid. You don't understand my struggle. So when people talk about, oh my god, anime this, anime that, they think for some reason that they are now like, oh yeah, I was here before you. You don't understand the struggles we had it. When in actuality, anime has been quite mainstream for the last like 10 years, you know. Like, sure, it's the most popular it's ever been now. But back in 2020, when you were watching anime, a lot of people started watching anime in the COVID pandemic, and that didn't make you weird. Five Nights at Freddy is where I could start hearing the argument that you were weird kid. I remember back when I was younger, one of my friends enjoyed Five Nights at Freddy like there's no tomorrow. He enjoyed the lore, he played all the games, but everyone called him weird. Everyone treated him not everyone, of course. Our friend group, he was in our friend group, but like on the outside perspective, people would treat him as an outsider. They'd be like, "Oh my god, you watch animatronics, furries, this, that, and the third," and they'd bully him. And then he was considered a weird kid because he wasn't following the social norms. And furthermore, he had, besides us, he had no friends, and people would find that and bully him for something he enjoyed. That's what I consider a weird kid. Another one, growing up, after I moved to the UK, this is everywhere. So after I moved to the UK, I met this girl, and she kept to herself, and she didn't really, you know, try to, you know, go out of her way to, like, you know, make friends, which is okay. But the reason was because she was scared. She used to wear a mask because her teeth weren't the most perfect. I didn't mind. I saw her teeth. They're like, sure, they're not perfect, but like at the same time, no one should make fun of you for that. People make fun of her for that. So it causes a spiral. When you are insecure about something, you tend to then hide yourself from other people. And when people don't, you know, get to actually see you for who you are, they assume what you are based on the way you act. So if you're introverted and you keep to yourself and you wear a mask, people assume that you're some weirdo that doesn't talk to people, because if no one's talking to you, that means you're the problem. And yes, there's certain instances where that makes sense, but not in this case scenario. So people would just ignore her. And I've said this, but I'll say it again. When you're an introvert, or when you are forced to, you know, be on your own, it makes things harder for you in the long run. If you never get to have a girlfriend, for example, you will then only ever have issues with girls. Like, you will always have issues with girls until you get fixed, because you've never had the time to get, you know, get used to the mannerisms and the way people act around certain things. And it's not their fault. It's not her fault. She was forced to be an introvert because of her teeth, because people made fun of her growing up. So then that then enforced her not being able to talk to anyone, and then not being able to, you know, grow up on social norms and social cues, which also led to more people not being friends with her, which led to a down spiral of her being an outcast. And that's what considered someone a weird kid. And now, as of recently, her type of people, the type she's turned into, is what people are like, oh my god, I love a goth girl, I love a goth emo, I love that, you know, the girl that can like treat me wrong, or like, you know, you don't understand how like hard they have it, you know. It's like people want that to be them so bad, when in actuality they're not the closest thing to that, you know, but they want to be niche, of course. And it just goes back to, people want attention. No matter how much, no matter how little, everyone wants to be seen. Everyone wants to feel like they're the most special person on earth. Because at the end of the day, everyone is everyone is their own main character. Because only you know you as well as you. You know? You know everything about yourself. You know the way you think, the way you talk, and the way you want to be. You can't tell other people's mentality. You can't read other people's minds. So you can't know for sure if that's what they mean when they say something. But you know yourself. So you know for 100% truth what you mean is what you mean. Ah, this point is, at the end of the day, you know, just be yourself, man. It doesn't make sense to me sometimes, really, because I've met so many amazing and cool people in my life that people would never give the chance because they're not worthy of being, you know, someone cool, or giving them anything. You know, growing up, I would say I was a fairly popular kid, in the sense that I was extroverted. I'd go out, I played sports, I had the ability to talk to people, you know, so I made a lot of friends. I had people, you know, come up to me like, oh, you're friends with so and so, can you get me to date with them? Or you're friends with so and so, I want to be friends with them. They never tell you to your face though. When somebody sees you're able to get other things, when somebody sees you in a high place of power, instinctually they want to become friends with you, so then they can also be in a place of high power. So they'd become friends with you. And when someone wants to become friends with you purely off them becoming friends with someone else or gaining something, it's so easy to tell. Like, not saying I'm some ridiculously smart person, but you know the way they act, it's out of nowhere, it doesn't feel like sentimental, and it just feels forced. So, you know, as people then see that, oh, you're friends with so and so, it just it's a just as if you're an introvert and you never get the chance to pick up on social cues, so you just a down spiral of you not gaining any friends. The opposite is true. It's an up spiral of you constantly gaining friends because people want more and more from you, in a sense, and it's just so disgusting. Like, I will never not give someone a chance to be my friend. I've had you know how many people I've talked to that have told me, I didn't think you were ever going to like me as a friend. I didn't think you were going to think I was cool, and their personality and their hobbies, they were unique. They weren't something like that the normal person would ever say or do, in the public. But I thought they were cool. So the moment I gave them that, oh, I think that's pretty cool, they genuinely got so you don't understand the excitement someone gets when their hobby, their enjoyment is appreciated by someone else. It's genuine joy. There's nothing like it's so beautiful. Just the pure, unfiltered joy of someone enjoying what they're talking about, enjoying what they're doing. It's beautiful. But like I said again, if you aren't someone that they can gain something from, then you're not going to probably be their friend. I've had people some of the prettiest girls, and some of them, like, as a straight man, I can identify, I can, come to terms with a man being attractive. I've seen some of the most jaw-dropping people be friends with me, not because I'm attractive, not because I'm special in a sense, but because they know I know other people that they want to talk to. Because God forbid they try and be themselves. They don't want to get judged. They need to understand what the other person is, so they can imitate what they are to then, have a better chance of being their friend and then show their true personality. And I guess that's hey, if that works for you and if that's what makes you happy when you wake up, then be my guest. But if people aren't willing to be your friend based on your own personality, do you really want to be friends with them? Is that something you want to do with your life? And if it is, you might need to reevaluate your life choices when it comes to priority and things. Not to rant. I don't mean to turn that into a rant. I was just frustrated, man. Recently, I was talking to one of my friends back from South Africa. I used to live in South Africa, and he was just telling me how awful it's gotten ever since I left. Because, like I said earlier, when I was friends with him, it wasn't as bad. It wasn't perfect. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't perfect. I'm thinking back to it, but it wasn't as bad because he's friends with Tawana, and Tawana's friends with this and so and so. So obviously, I'm going to try and be kind to him as well, because I don't want Tawana to think I don't like him, whether or not they like him or not, which was insane to me. Whether or not they thought he was worth their time, it was irrelevant. As long as they knew that I wouldn't be upset with them if they made friends with them, then it would be okay. And that's insane to me, because you know what? I looked up to him. I thought he was cool. He introduced me to anime. He introduced me to games. He's one of the main reasons I wanted to become a streamer. I wanted to become a YouTuber. Before I knew what it really was to become a YouTuber and a streamer, he was one of the first thoughts of like what a YouTuber is like. Playing games, he'd make me laugh. Like, people called me funny. He was my original funny. He showed me how to be funny, just making jokes out of thin air right before your eyes. It's like no one gave him that chance to become himself or show how funny he was, because they just assumed, oh, he's a weirdo. And I don't know. It's just, if that's who you really are, then there's no helping you. There is genuinely no helping you. You can change, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Again, that also brings me to another point. Again, I really don't mean to turn this into a rant or anything, but it's frustrating, man. Like, I go to college right now, and there's just so many fake people. There's so many fake people on a day-to-day basis that I see that act a certain way purely because they don't want to be seen as weird or different or unique or their own. And I don't know how they have fun when they're with them. I don't know how they enjoy just being someone else, not themselves, for the sake of, I want them to think I'm cool, so other people think I'm cool. I don't know. I don't get it. If you really think that what all it takes to be perceived as cool is following the latest trend, then you're never going to be quote unquote cool. The only ever reason I've made so many friends and I've made so many connections in my life is purely because I never acted differently towards what I enjoy. If you truly are someone that enjoys something and you make it your goal to not shy away from letting people know that, hey, I like this, or giving your opinion, you're going to attract an audience. You might not be able to, you might not immediately attract the people that you want to attract, but you're going to attract an audience that people, you're going to attract an audience of people that are going to enjoy you for you, purely because you're able to do what they're not. Be honest about your feelings, be true to yourself, and show others what you enjoy, not what other people enjoy. And believe it or not, people are, it's so easy to tell when someone truly enjoys something that they're talking about, a topic, action, something they enjoy doing with a burning passion, is so obvious to tell because you can see it in their face, you can see it in their eyes, you can see it in the way they talk, and that attracts to them. And once those people start attracting to you, other people who might not even have liked you or liked your hobbies will then see, why is he so popular? And then they find out about your hobbies, and then they themselves give it a try because they don't like them. But they're like, if everyone else is liking him for this, why? And they find out those hobbies are actually pretty worthwhile, and they want to become your friends. You've just changed people's minds. You've actively gone and done the scary part in real life, you know. But all it takes is trying. It's simply trying. It's not easy. Don't get me wrong. I didn't magically become, extroverted overnight. I didn't magically become someone that enjoyed talking to people overnight. Sure, there's an argument for genetic and environmental factors, and I'm all up for that debate because yes, I believe genetic and environmental factors can change how you perceive friendship and extrovertedness and introvertedness. But if you truly are someone that wants friends, then being yourself will only ever attract people that will like you for yourself. I hope that that message sticks clear with you. It's all because people are afraid to be by themselves. They're afraid to endure loneliness at the cost of being themselves, of being original. Like, I've had days when I was growing up, I was alone. I had no friends, in the sense that there was no one that I knew enjoyed what I did or enjoyed what I, thought it was nice. Like, before I met my friends, and I won't name drop him because I don't want to, bully anyone to, like, who knows them, attack him if this video does, get out there. But he was the very first person I saw was, damn, that is cool. I'd never tried that. I'll try it. I like it. I enjoy it. I'm gonna make sure that's part of my personality, you know? So just be yourself, and and friends will come along the way. And it's okay to be alone, because you won't be alone forever if you really and truly show people what you enjoy. I didn't mean to go on from that, man. That just makes me so emotional sometimes. You don't understand how many amazing people are out there in the world waiting for you to be friends with them. That makes me that's another problem I have. There are so many amazing people that I've met in my life that it makes me sad knowing that there's just so many more that I'll never ever be able to meet ever. Either because they're passed away, they're too old, the age gap's too big, they haven't been born yet, they live in a different country, they speak a different language, they go to a different school, and it doesn't even have to be that major. They just happen to be in a different class and I never got to speak to them. That is probably one of the most saddest things that breaks my heart. If there was something that made me really upset when I went to sleep at night and thought about it, was I wish I could clone myself and meet all these amazing people. Because sometimes, and only sometimes, I think to myself just how much people I've met have changed my life for the better, and how I don't know how I would be without them. So it just makes me feel so sad when I know me being there for someone else could have changed their life drastically, could have made them be in a different friend group where they feel valued, could have made them go to pursue their sports and become something great. But they didn't have that extra, person holding them. So they just had to deal with, what they had, and then turn into people that they regret all their life choices. And that makes me really sad. It's not my fault, but at the same time, I just feel accountable. I want to be there to help people when they need it most. But there's only so much one person can do. And that's why I feel like going out of your way to be kind should be a no-brainer, because your kindness can knock on and affect other people in ways you can never imagine, purely because your kindness can make someone else turn into a very kind person, and that kind person goes out of their way to help someone else, and so on and so on. and down the road you could have saved someone who was going to end their life. Not that that's an extreme, but you could have saved someone that was going to not pursue their career because your friend talked about him being confident in doing something he liked because up the scale you told your friend how you felt about loving certain sports, and it downhilled into something that ended up with him telling her, yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and ended up her trying that sport and realizing I enjoy this, I love this, and going, and making something of her life with it. And it's just, I just wish there was more of me to love, because at the end of the day, I love loving people, no matter what. I genuinely don't have anyone that I can think I hate. I know people that dislike me, sure, but there's no one in all the people I've ever met that I can say with my heart I hate, because I love people. I love loving people, and I love showing people that I love them. And I never understand people that can't love others. And yes, there's outliers. People have done you wrong. People have done you really wrong. And I understand where you're coming from. I have had people that have wronged me so hard that I shouldn't probably even consider loving them. But at the end of the day, it's your choice to make. And I always choose to forgive those who've wronged me. Because you never know what other people have gone through in life to make them the way they are. Where does this one go? Yeah, okay. Game called Hello Neighbor. I really do enjoy streaming. I enjoy this a lot, man. And I'm not a big name. I'm not crazily known, and that's okay though, because the best part of my day, ironically, is I don't. This sounds cringe and this sounds weird. Whenever I post a TikTok video or YouTube video, even if it only gets like 100 views or a few views actually, I love reading the comments of these. I genuinely enjoy reading all the comments because it just makes me feel so loved. I get to see people actively they took the time out of their day to sit down, watch my video, and then comment how they feel. That is so cool to me. I always sit there I'm literally this morning I was laughing to myself, reading comments like, "Oh my god, no way, he said that, he said this, that was so funny, this and the third," because I enjoy. YouTube content creation is supposed to be something that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy content creation and you're purely doing it for the money, you're really missing out on the community. Every time when I live stream and there just happens to be a few more people than normal and they're talking with each other, I'm playing the game, I look in chat, I see them talk, I talk to them, they talk to me, they make fun of me, I make fun of them. That community, it's the most fun I've ever had. There have been points where I've not reacted to donations as much as I've reacted to like people, saying something funny. And I'm not saying that, I think donations are bad, especially like, situations are different. Like I want to be a full-time streamer and a content creator. And for that, of course, you need to be able to make a living and have enough money to, make it. So, that's my reason why. I want to become someone so not famous in the sense like, oh my god, everyone knows him, but if I reach a point where I can financially support my parents, because I live with them currently, and we're immigrants still, so it's hard for them. They work really hard. If I ever reach a point where I can support them financially, and I can also live life, being able to just full time streaming and meeting more people, I think that's all I would ever want. And anything after would just be a bonus. But that is all I really want at the end of the streaming thing. And that's the truth. I just want to make people laugh. I want to make people smile, and I want people to be happy. Because again, my biggest inspiration is Joe Bartlosey. If I had to, don't get me wrong, I've had many inspirations, and I could go on and on. Jinxie, Corey Kenshin, Waka Waka VM2, Preston Plays. I could go on Skeppy for help. Tapel. But one of my biggest inspirations is definitely Joe Bart. I love him. Again, I'm not trying to sound parasocial, of course. I don't actually know the person. I only know the person that he's, portrayed online. But if that's anything close to how Joe Bart is in real life, then yeah, I genuinely love the guy. He's an inspiration on inspirations my dream, if I ever were to have like a content creating goal, of course, like I said earlier, to be financially stable and support my parents and being a full time streamer. But I want to collab and stream with Joe. That is. It sounds so simple and it sounds so silly, but I just want to be his friend. Literally, it. That's probably like my on my top five list of like stream events. I just want to be Joe Bart's friend and stream with him, stream games with him. That's what I want. You know. It's nothing too crazy. It's simple, but it's the truth. What I wouldn't give for that, and that's what I'm not saying that's like a wishful thinking. That's what I'm working up to. I want to become a streamer big enough that Joe Bot's willing to stream and collab with me. Same with like people like Jinxie. I want to collab with them, not for like to gain what they have, but to meet these people. I watch these people all the time because I think they're cool. So it only makes sense, I want to, stream with them and, actually talk to the people that I think are cool and see how they are in real life. They say you never meet your heroes, of course. And I'm that's my probably one of my biggest fears. Like you meet them, they're off camera, Joe's like, yeah, no, fuck you, bitch. I don't actually like you. Fuck, I don't like you. I just need the content. And then he just leaves. That'd be pretty funny though. But yeah, no, that is definitely a dream I have, or I'm at least working up to. So, Joe, if you're seeing this, collab with me, please. You know, maybe not now, but I can work up to a point where you would be willing to collab with me. It's a game called Hello Neighbor. It's a game called Hello Neighbor. Let's see. It's a game called Hello Neighbor. Hello, baby boy, don't you see that I'm yours? I don't wanna die, but I don't wanna live like this. I just wanna feel real. I just wanna feel to feel like a person again. Stranger. Homegrown alligator, see you later. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. Fly by in the ocean seas, hiding out in all the seas. I get used to this. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like someone. Ooh. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We got two in the back, two in the front, two in the hand. So homegrown alligator. See you later. Gotta hit the road. Gotta hit the road. Sometimes the sun comes out, running down the humper route. I can get used to this. I'm a kid lost in time to us. Now I'll go and die. So I need you by my side. You won't even try, and it hurts me inside. No, you can't go. Listen, back where you're told. I tried to give you my heart. You took me back from the start. Baby girl, I'm all yours. No matter what happens, it's your choice. Everybody wants me. Trust them, but I got it much worse. You left me broken hearted. To my heart and you ripped inside of it. Now I gotta find somebody else to make up all the mistakes you had. I know that what we had was good, but now I'm lost in this mental trance, and you're just all I think of when I look for you, and you're always so gone and fast. So I just want to understand what I did wrong. Now I won't know. 'Cause no matter how hard I tried, you just kept on lying. No matter how broken inside, I just kept on trying. Now I'm gone. Baby, please come back. Baby lost, and I tried. No, you didn't. Listen. The end is near. My heart goes clear as time moves on. No matter what, you'll be a part of me, and I'll be a part of you, and we'll go to the moon. Dancing in the night with you was the best part of my life, and now I'm stuck here thinking of what I did right. 'Cause it feels like there wasn't anything I could have done to stop you from loving someone else. Why? Now I'm questioning all the choices you made. Now I'm questioning all of those decisions. Why? This music is like eerily emotional. Out of nowhere, by the way. Like I lowered it earlier because I thought it was, not gonna help me, but now I'm just picking things up and putting them where it's supposed to go. It's kind of funny how in the beginning it felt like we're gonna be here forever, but now that we're here, we're almost finished, and the end feels much closer than I thought it would. Like, it doesn't even feel like I'm doing it anymore. I'm just kind of doing it, I don't feel tired from it. I don't feel bored. I'm just there. We have 2 more books. We're looking for the last 2 books. And, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a live lesson, but we're coming to our last 2 books. We're just searching for them. And playing this game, I mean, some would even call it a life lesson, It's just, when we started this, there were so many books, and it felt impossible. It felt like we couldn't do it no matter what we tried. And slowly, as we kept on putting the books correctly, all the luggage cleared up, all the space that was blocking us from moving forward and backwards started to clear up, and it made it faster. And once we started finding pairs, we started finding more pairs, It just increased the speed at which we found it, and before you knew it, we were close to being finished. And now, look at us. This is the progress and the work of constantly trying something. So if you're thinking about doing something that feels hard, like a mountain so high you can't reach the peak, just climb step by step, because before you know it, you're gonna be done and you're gonna miss it. Holy shit. Holy shit. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us. The principal is really strict. Have you not done something yet? Oh, 397 shelves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where is this? Oh, these 2 are swapped around. Okay, where's the next one? These 2 are swapped around. Okay, what's the last one? And these were in the wrong order. So now we can be sure. Oh yeah, we get pizza. I forgot. That was the reward we get for this. But I think the real reward was the friends we made along the way.